completely changed the game in how we forecasted over the next 2, 3, 4 months to understand where they're going to be the dips, what do we need to do, all that kind of stuff. So really, really important. I just share that from my own personal experience in going through this process. And this ebook is, outlining a lot of the basic fundamentals that helped us put these types of things in place. Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas, and it is another week. It's another week where we get to launch and share with you one of the amazing ebooks and kind of business tools resources out there today. And this one is all about understanding cash flow. So the ebook that's available to download right now in the video description below is the 25 tips to understand your cash flow. So it looks like this. This is a phenomenal little ebook. It's only 14 pages long, so it should not take that long to get through, but let's break down what's in this ebook. I don't know about you, but for some, I've gone through many different times within our business where we've focused a lot on cash flow, understanding cash flow, and how we manage it. One of the big things as we kind of look back on our journey, there was a number of times when, we were looking at it and found out we were dang near out of cash, and that was a problem for us until we started to figure out how to understand, monitor, and manage our cash flow. And that completely changed the game in how we forecasted over the next 2, 3, 4 months to understand where they're going to be the dips, what do we need to do, all that kind of stuff. So really, really important. I just share that from my own personal experience in going through this process. And this ebook is, outlining a lot of the basic fundamentals that helped us put these types of things in place. So as I mentioned, 14-page read, doesn't take that long to get through. I highly encourage you to go through it. But it starts with kind of, a couple different categories. The first one being keeping accurate records. This is from accounting software to understanding receipts and invoices to reconciling bank statements and all that sort of stuff. But in a nutshell, when you bring it back down, keeping accurate records is so incredibly important. There was a moment in time, a couple years back where we had accounting records and they were consistent, all that kind of stuff. But we found out later on that they weren't actually accurate and they weren't all talking to each other. And it was this big old mess that we had to sort through. So keeping accurate records was an incredible learning piece for us as we continued to move forward in our business. So that's kind of the first section. As you go through this ebook, the next piece then is analyzing your cash flow statement. So looking at net cash flow, looking at operating activities, investing activities, financing activities, understanding the difference between each of those and how that relates to your business. So this is actually that cash flow statement. My high encouragement as you're watching this, even if you don't download this ebook and you don't go through this process, please make sure that when you're working with your bookkeepers and your CPAs, they don't just send you the profit and loss or the P&L, or maybe just the P&L and the balance sheet. Make sure you get that statement of cash flow, that cash flow statement. It can be, depending on the platform you're using, might be called different things, but the cash flow statement or the statement of cash flows, please make sure you're getting it. It's really important to look at it because that's what's actually going to tell you how cash is moving within your business. The next big category that you're going to get through in this ebook is monitoring your accounts receivable. Hopefully for a lot of you out there, there isn't a whole lot to do with accounts receivable, but if you are a business that has a little bit of AR or accounts receivable there, continuing to monitor, manage it, ensure that you can keep as many as possible under 30 days. All of this helps with what we call the cash gap. So this ebook is going to take you through some of those basic things, how to manage that, how to monitor it, and make sure that you've got everything on track as you continue to refine this part of your business. Next category is managing expenses. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this one. It's all about budgets and tracking expenses, negotiating with suppliers, all sorts of stuff. One of my favorite exercises to do. Now I say favorite in hindsight because it was not fun when I went through it, but one of my favorite exercises to do, and I will say that this is important whether it's in business, it's in personal, or however you want to look at it, but actually going through the process of listing out every single transaction from the last couple of different months when you look at your profit and loss and your bank statements, and justify every single expense. Why is this expense here? Is it worthwhile? Do we even need it? Because oftentimes you'll find a handful of expenses in there where the answer is just no, we don't need it. Great, cut it out, and all of a sudden your net profit goes up. Amazing thing. can be very, very painful in some cases, but in a lot of ways, it's just a really good practice to go through every couple of quarters, at least once a year. Like I said, business and personal. I do it even in my personal life. I look at the budget that we have set out, and I look at what are the things that we're spending money on. Is there anything that we just don't need? Like why do we use this? Why do we have it? And all of a sudden, it frees up additional cash flow to invest it in ways that actually make sense or enjoyable to us, either in the business or in personal. So managing expenses. Then you've got, really one more big category to go through in this ebook, and that is planning ahead. So this is where we actually get into forecasting your cash flow. It's not just about setting the budget or understanding how the cash flow, all that kind of stuff comes together, but how do we actually forecast it? Forecasting it, depending on the business, it might be month over month. It could be week over week. It could be day over day, right? If you're in a high, turnover type of a business, retail, you've got lots of volume, lots of transactions every single day, cash flow on a daily basis might be a really good one to go through and forecast. For others, take real estate agents as an example. Their longer sales cycles probably don't do as many transactions. Looking at something daily probably doesn't make sense, but looking at something monthly might. In our business, we tend to look and plan out things weekly. So looking at that, forecasting cash flow, identifying kind of where those cash flow gaps are. Where are we going to hit that point where we might be a little out of cash or a little bit tight here? What can we, what instruments can we put in place, whether it's lines of credit or whatever, to ensure that we can bridge that gap when we have a little bit of a low point. So setting financial goals, planning for seasonal fluctuations, all of that kind of stuff comes into this plan ahead. So lots of great stuff in this ebook. Like I said, it's only a 14-page read. It's not too crazy. Make sure you download it, check it all out, start to kind of put some things in place. And of course, when you get to the point where you've kind of gotten as far as you're able to go or wanting to go at this point, give us a call. We'd love to have a chat with you, go through some financial things, share some of the war stories that we've been through, and potentially guide you and help you in ways that will help you build out some cash flow forecasts and make sure that you've got a strong buttoned up business. So with that, again, my name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas. The link is in the description below. Make sure you grab that link and download this amazing ebook on the 25 tips understanding cash flow in your business. We'll see you next week.